It always is, Vic, one of those things where when you use the language of finding, and we've seen it a lot, when you find a shooter who is dead, the phrasing usually is the shooter has been neutralized. The shooter is down. That means there was police involvement. When we hear the shooter is dead, it sometimes indicates, and I don't want to get ahead of anything here, it sometimes indicates self-inflicted wounds. Are you reading anything into this?
Well, from my perspective, it would be very hard to believe that law enforcement would not be able to triangulate this suspect and locate him and confront him in the number of minutes and hours that have passed since the first shooting. I would be absolutely floored if it were possible that this was something where he was just out on the lam and just confronted or took his own life after many hours.
Right.
I would not be surprised if we hear very distinct details of a lengthy confrontation, perhaps a negotiation before the fatality occurred.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, that's kind of the thing, is it's a little bit of both worlds where you have police that are closing in, they know where the suspect is, and right as police are about to close in on the suspect takes their own life.
That's right.
We have seen that happen time and time again here. But I'm curious because police were all over campus, and I'm sure that they probably, as we said, identified this shooter at some point in time over the last 4 hours as soon as they got that picture. Usually when they put it out, they're asking for some help, but sometimes it's standard operating procedure. They put the picture out there just because of transparency, and they have the information to identify that by talking to former students, by going through identification process, and they have a pretty good idea of where that shooter may or may not be holed up.
That's correct. And the first place to start is the last shooting. We have different locations, as you astutely point out, so that's the last point of interest and its last location we've seen the suspect. From that point, knowing that it was not just one location or one cafeteria or one gathering area, there's movement that can then be used to predict where that suspect will then go or maintain himself at that point. Because after the first shooting, you bet your bottom dollar there's a lot of police presence.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.